Well, hello to the Busquets. Well, I haven't done one of these in a long time, and I really don't because I hate doing them. I mean, there should not be any necessity for this, but anyway, there's no other way. Okay, well, right now, just kind of update you in relation to a lot of stuff because it looks really good that I'm going to finally be back in the United States by the end of August, and it's what it appears. Uh, I'm waiting right now to hear from the main one of the main three banks in which we're doing this deal with that we have the appointment and the foundation. The director is in Nevada right now, and he's been there for a few months and talking with the financial institutions and negotiations and everything. This is a very complex business deal, so to speak, and so it takes time. You don't do multi-billion-dollar deals as a rule in a couple days. It takes time. But we're here at the very end, in which everything has been agreed upon, and so I'm excited about that. And now we're waiting for the actual appointment, whereby we will, how can I put it? We will have the payout, uh, and so I'm excited about that. And so anyway, when that happens, in a nutshell, what'll happen is when the payout occurs, the director of the foundation will immediately head to Panama. I will immediately get on a plane, also within hours, and head to Panama, and so will my associate Orlando, who's in Bogota. He will get on a plane and he will be headed to Panama, and there we will be meeting with law firms to open up business entities, IBCs, international business corporations, corporate souls, holding companies. Um, I mean, just corporate souls. Um a lot of entities that need to be opened up, bank accounts, et cetera, and all that. And we're looking at it. We'll be in Panama for at least anywhere from 10 to 15 days. Okay, which is fine. I'm going to have a vacation. Panama's beautiful. We'll stay in a top-notch five-star hotel and just have a great time while we are meeting with the attorneys every single day to get these things done. In a nutshell. Okay. And then once that happens and everything's finalized, monies are transferred into different accounts here, there, whatever, and whereby I will own nothing, and instead I will, yeah. Well, I'm not going to go into that. Not necessary. Then that's finished. I will head to the United States, and the United States is to go see Gary, and then from Gary, I will go to Richmond, Virginia, to go talk with the my legal law group. Then, which we will then, I will then bring them all of the documentation from the divorce, and then they will start to put the case together to sue the judge, to sue the her Marisol's attorney, and to sue Marisol. End of story. Okay. The judge and the attorney, they'll be sued for $50 million each. Oh, and the sheriff in Tulsa at that time, he's retired now, but he's going to have a real surprise coming. Okay, because I'm going to take everything he's got, from his house to his pension to his funds, everything. I'm going to take everything, just like that. Just like that's the goal with the judge and everyone else that's getting sued. Why did I arrive at that? Well, it's very simple, because of you guys. You guys have shown me that that's the way to go. You know, it's mind blowing. I asked the Father, Yehovah, one thing. I said, before I die, I only ask one thing. We never know when we're going to die, when we're going to go into eternity. Okay, and I said is that I'd be able to see my sons and my daughter before I take my last breath. That's all that I ask, and I hope He gives me that. Okay, and I hope I get a lot more than that. But if I only get that, I'll be fine with that. If that was the only thing that was to happen, and that's why the other thing, going to Panama and taking care of everything, is because there will be an inheritance which you don't want. That's Isaac Christian. God, I don't know. I ask you to forward all the videos I've done in the past that I've sent to you guys, and to please send it to Katya. I don't know if you have or not. I have no idea. You won't even answer that question. Do you send my videos like this one? Will you send it to Katya? I don't know. I have no idea. You know, the lack of respect from sons to father is absolutely out of this world. Out of this world. But anyway. So after I go there and do that, now there's a 5% chance that the legal people, assistants of counsel, you know, they might decide they're not going to take my case. And if that happens, then that's okay. I already conceded to that possibility years ago. If that happens, then I let it go, and that's the end of the story. I close and I go on with my life. I'm not gonna cry about it no. I'm not gonna lose any sleep over it at all. I mean, that's just a fact. And so I go from there. So anyway, and so then from there, I go to California from Virginia, where I'll be. I go to California, and there is to buy the jet plane. I've got a lot of traveling to do within the United States. I've got to go to 11 states. Then I got to go to Central America. I got to go to the Caribbean. I got to go to South America. I got to go to Europe. And when I go to California to pick up the plane, I also go there to pick up my lovely Hong Kong young girl. Definitely, we've been. Anyway, I'm looking at. I've finally been able to see her, spend some time with her, her family, her parents, etc. And it's interesting, you know. She's young. She's very young. She's your age. It's really kind of interesting. I'll be. She has no problems with my age, none whatsoever from day one. And as a matter of fact, she's told me she prefers an older man. She doesn't want someone in her age group too immature. She prefers for a man who's been around, etc., this, that, and whatever. So that's great. That's great. And and my decision to go for a young woman in her early 30s, that's based on you guys. Okay. Uh, you guys were supposed to with this thing coming, and I know some people tell me that this, and it could be true, could be not, I don't know. They tell me that, well, basically you guys don't really believe that what's happening financially is going to happen financially is real, this, that, or whatever. And so, you know, until it actually happens, we'll see what happens. And I can see that. I can see that. Okay, and I got no problems with that, you know. But you know, I know it's real, and Gary knows it's real. Gary's a top executive with Wells Fargo Bank at their main corporate headquarters in Charlotte, Virginia, Charlotte, North Carolina. He's up there, and he knows it's real. You know, he's in the banking, and he knows it's real. So you know, and he's got currency in this too, etc. He doesn't have as much as I do, but he's got plenty. And so anyway, so we're going to go in that direction. So when I go to California to go talk to the company in the plane, that I have sent you videos on the plane that I want, would like, etc. If it's available, because you know, it's been a prototype, and I found out about that plane when they basically were just coming out with their first, but they were supposed to be ready to market here in 2025. And so hopefully it's ready. I don't know. But anyway, I'm going to fly out there. And it turns out to be that my lady friend from Hong Kong, she's only about an hour and a half from the airport, from the aviation company that has this plane. And so anyway, she will come with me. She will travel throughout the United States, and then she wants to travel around the world. So she'll go with me to, you know, all the different countries that I want to go to, this, that, and whatever. Okay. Then I will come back to Colombia, because I don't look at coming to Tulsa on my first trip. I've got too much to do, and Tulsa is not a priority, so to speak, in relation to coming seeing you guys. It's just not. I'm just going to put it, you know, if it be under different circumstances, maybe I would make it a number one priority immediately. But you're not. You've let me know basically that you know, our relationship is not a priority under any circumstances whatsoever. You've treated me, your father, biological father, with disdain, disrespect, dishonor, no integrity, no nothing, just like shit. And so, you know, you definitely don't owe me anything. You've made it very clear, and I definitely don't owe you anything. But I am going to bring something. So, when I come to Colombia, I mean, when I've done all of the traveling that I need to do immediate, okay, then I will come to Tulsa, and I will come to see Isaac, and I will go to see Katia, and I know where she lives. I've got all of that, you know. I even have quite a few phone numbers for Katia and David Oaks. I haven't called her. No, no, I'm just gonna go and I'm gonna knock on the door and say, hey, this, that, whatever, and let's talk this, that. You don't want me in your life? Fine, no problem. But let's talk, and then I'll disappear. No problem. I don't have a problem not being in not being in the life of someone who does not want me in their life. I don't have any problem with that. Gosh, who wants to be around someone who doesn't want you in their life? I don't know anybody that wants that. So, end of story. But anyway, what I will do is this: I'm going to be bringing a contract, a legal binding contract, okay, in which you've told me you don't want your inheritance, okay, and you know that in order to get your inheritance, it only goes to a Burbano. You are Busquets, and you both have told me that, and Katya doesn't have this same problem, and I'll explain that in a moment. But anyway, uh, you both have told me that you don't really give a fuck about your inheritance, this, that, and whatever. And okay, that's fine. That's no problem. So I'll have but just to ensure that I don't really need it because everything is going to be wrapped up in holdings companies, corporations, all offshore, this, that, and whatever. And the money's going to be everywhere, so to speak, whereby you're not going, let's just assume that. That when the day that I do die and this, that, and whatever, you'll be notified by the attorneys, okay? And then you come, well, I want my inheritance. Well, I'm going to make sure that that doesn't happen. Okay, there will be no inheritance except, and I'll explain in a little bit what the inheritance will be. All right, and then we go from there. But just to make sure that then after I die, you say, well, I do want my inheritance, and then you say, well, I want it. I'm going to claim my inheritance. So there ain't going to be anything to claim because you're not going to be able to touch it. And for you to try to attack, to try to break a multiple layer trust, holding companies, etc., get your hands on the money, it will cost you into the multi millions of dollars, which you don't have and you never will have. So you're just not going to be able to. But I want to ensure that that's what happens in order to honor your word that you don't want any inheritance and you don't give a damn about the inheritance. That's fine. Okay. I mean, I'll be dead, so it doesn't make any difference, at all. And believe me, the inheritance will go to people that want it, and that is going to do a lot of good. One of the things and the responsibilities with this, with large sums of money, is that you got to be responsible with what you do with it, how you handle it, what it's used for. Okay, in order for it to be blessed. In a story, and it will be, no question about it. So anyway, so I will be bringing a contract, a legal binding contract for you to sign, okay, in which you waive any and all claims and rights to the Burbano inheritance. You should have no problem signing that because you already said you don't want it. But I just want it down in black and white. Let's see if you honor your word that you don't want it. Not a problem. Not a problem. Okay, but the other thing is, so I was going to say, okay, that you don't want it. Oh yeah, and now I will be bringing you some money. Let me see if I can, give me a second here, and I'm going to find it. And that is that I'll never forget. It's always on my mind, and I do mean always. I mean, it's just mind blowing to me. I can't put it any other word, any other way. Okay, um, it's mind blowing. It's just when I think about it, I've shared this with so many people, and they just get blown away. They get blown away. You might remember way back then when I asked you in relation to ask me any question that you want. This was in the very beginning when I finally found you guys and we finally started to have some kind of communication. And and I said, ask me any question. And the last I saw the three of you, we had gone to the Kenneth Hagan to their room, whatever game room where you can play pool, billiard, and etc. and whatever. And then that Monday was when Your mother took out the when I got put in the jail, and I kicked that judge's ass, and I'm gonna take his $50 million. I'm gonna take him. I'm gonna take that son of a bitch, just like her attorney James Williamson, and just like Money. So I'm gonna take everything I got from him. I'm hoping that the legal people that I have, that they are going to take the case. We talked a lot, and right now it looks 100%, but I'd like to say 95%. But anyway, so anyway, when I come, I do want to give you what you asked for. You know, when, like I said, when we initially started to talk, and I said, ask me any question, and I couldn't believe it. The question that Isaac asked me, the number one question, it wasn't, well, Dad, you know, we played pool that Saturday, and then you disappeared. We never heard from you. Never a goodbye, never a goodbye hug, never this, never that. You just fucking disappeared. What happened? Why have you never called me? Why have you never written? Why have you never anything? No, that wasn't what you asked. What Isaac asked was, why didn't you pay child support? Wow. And what was interesting is when I talked to you, Christian, with the same thing, I asked you, ask me anything you want. You asked me the same fucking question. Why didn't you pay child support? Not what happened? Where'd you go? Why have I never heard from you? Blah blah blah, and so on and so on and so on and so on. No, it was, why didn't you pay? Well, number one, I wasn't gonna pay your mother, the ex-wife, a goddamn cent after she accused me that I would sexually molest you, that I would beat the fuck out of you physically, and that I would murder you if the judge let you come with me. And then you, Isaac, said that you didn't have a problem with that. That if that's what your mother needed to do in order to get the divorce, that was okay with you. That blew me away. That fucking blew me away. And then when I asked you, Christian, the same question, and I said, you said, "It's none of your business," in relation to the answer. I was going. I'll tell you, Christian, as your biological father, if I had been there in person and you had talked to me like that, you would have found yourself on the ground. I would have flattened you out so much for the disrespect. It's mind blowing. It's just a fact. And that's what you guys missed growing up, was you didn't have a father figure at all. And please don't tell me it was Gongi, and please don't tell me it was Papon, the sexual pervert who fucked your mother. Yeah, I know. You don't believe that or whatever. Your mother tells you that I'm saying that. No, no. I put my eternity. I tell Jehovah, I said, Jehovah, if you know my heart, if I am saying this about Papon in order for revenge or to get even, then put me into hell for eternity. I'm not doing it for revenge or anything. What for revenge? What anything? It's the truth. Married to a woman who couldn't be touched, hated sex. I mean, just ugh. biggest big. That's why I tell you guys. One time I had told you guys, do not, when you're gonna get married, and there's when you found your woman, wait until you get married to have sex. I don't believe that anymore. I don't believe that shit anymore. I tell both of you guys, you better fuck that bitch. You better. You want the same problem that I had for 14 fucking years with a woman who hated to be touched, didn't even like to hold hands? And the only reason I stayed with her was because of you guys. I'll tell you a story. This happened at least 2 times, but I think it happened 3. Twice during my marriage to Marisol, she came into our bedroom when we were living in Owen Park. And when she came into the bedroom, she found me crying, tearful, crying. And she said, why are you crying? And I had said to her, Marisol, I just can't handle it. She said, what are you talking about? I said, Marisol, you show me no love. You can't even say to me, I love you, and I'm your husband. You can't even hold hands. You don't even like to be that I put my arm around you. Sex, you hate it with a passion. We hardly ever have sex because you can't stand sex. And I'm falling apart. I'm so dry inside. I'm a man that is not loved by his wife. And you know what she said to me? She said, well, the reason I am like that is because I grew up, in my house, and Papon and Mina, my mom and dad, they never showed any love. They never showed any affection. They never held hands. They never gave each other a kiss. And so I'm just like them, and there's nothing I can do about it. And I told her, I don't give a fuck what your parents were, but I'm telling you, I need you to show me love. Never happened. 14 fucking years, never. But I stayed with her for you guys. Biggest mistake of all the women that I dated in my life, I always had a girlfriend. I never was one with multiple girlfriends. I tried that one time. It was awful. I always had a girlfriend. I never had any problems sexually of any kind. Women that loved oral sex, women that loved anal sex, women that loved sex 100% in every way, shape, or form. You name it. Every single woman that I dated, no issues. With some women, I'd make love with them and they make love to me for 2-3 hours. Marisol, it was 2 minutes. You know what it's like to have a woman on top of you saying, you need to ejaculate now. If you haven't come in the next 2 minutes, that's it. I'm off of you. That's it. And you get off. You know, like I said earlier, with Marisol, only a woman that I chose that I would wait until we got married before having sex. Biggest fucking mistake. Because had I had sex with Marisol before getting married, I would have seen all the problems, and there's no way in hell I would have married her. None. None. But anyway, so I tell you guys, I changed. I had originally told you guys don't have sex until you get married. No. You don't want to do that. Man, you want to find out if that woman that you're dating, Isaac, that I don't know if she's Spanish or not, appears that she's, Hispanic, dark skin, etc. Typical Hispanic women, and I know that you have a lot of friends that are Hispanic, this, that, and whatever. But anyway, I hope you've had sex with her. If you haven't, you better. Anyway, okay. And the same thing, I don't know anything about you, Christian. I don't know if you've even ever had a girlfriend. From what I can tell of your Facebook, etc., you've never had a girlfriend. It's really interesting how both of you are single. It's really, to me, that's weird and strange. And I think part of it has to do with the divorce between your mother and I. Okay, and I can understand it. It's like I've shared concerning Isaac. I said, you get married and that woman divorces you in 6 months. Kiss goodbye to your condo, the extra one. Kiss goodbye to the condo you're living in, because you're going to be kicked out and she's going to take it, and you're going to continue to pay the mortgage on the second one, and you're going to pay the mortgage on the one she's going to live in, and you're going to end up getting a little room somewhere because you don't know how to structure your estate. And so you go to the divorce court. They call it family court. It ain't no family court. It's fuck the husband, fuck the father court. It's the best name for it. Okay. And you'll get fucked. So, all I can say is this. Do I know how to do this now? Yeah, let me tell you something. When I married this beautiful chick, 31 years old, let me tell you something. As long as she's with me, as long as we're true, she's true, she never cheats on me and blah, 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 until I die, she'll get everything. But if she cheats on me and then thinks she gets a divorce and she's going to get 50% or more of my estate, it's not going to happen. She ain't going to get a fucking thing. Matter of fact, the rings, the engagement ring, which will probably be worth 20, 30 grand, and the wedding band and all that, which will probably be worth another 20, 30 grand, and all that's coming back. Take it all back from her. She won't be able to stop it. That's just a fact. Why? Because I know how to do it. But you guys get married without taking care of your estate, which you don't know how, and an American attorney is not going to show you. The estates that they do are breakable. As a rule, they are breakable. They don't know what they're doing. But hey, I'm not here to teach you about that. Your Busquets, you handle it, and we go from there. So anyway, let's keep going. So when I get back, I'm going to have a contract in which in the contract is going to be spelled out a number of different things. Okay, and that's concerning the fact that you waive, you renounce, you waive all claims to any inheritance, this, that, whatever in the future from the estate of Jaime Burbano. Period. That you are not a Burbano. That you denounce being a Burbano. 100%. You affirm that you want to be a Busquet. That's fine. Like I shared with you in the past, you can call yourself whatever the fuck you want. You want to rename yourself and call yourself Mickey Mouse. Change your name to Mickey Mouse. I don't care. It's your name. You want to keep Busquets? And that's fine. Papon and Mina, who destroyed our home, our family, you want to take their name? Guys, that's perversion to me. Total perversion. But you can take their name. That's fine. With it are consequences. Okay. Now, like I said before, a lot of people say, well, they don't believe that you're going to have the kind of wealth you're talking about. And I said, yeah, I know that. They said, but I said, let's see what happens when I get back to Tulsa eventually, and I drive up in a Lamborghini, a Maserati, $300,000, $400,000, $500,000, $700,000 car, this, that, whatever, and then they see the house that I will buy for when I'm in Tulsa, which won't be a lot. And I'm planning on being in Tulsa a lot. I got a lot of stuff I want to do in Tulsa. It's the only reason I'm there is because Isaac's there and Katya's there. My grandchildren are there. We'll see what happens with them. But I'm not planning on. If you guys are got the things that I come to Tulsa, I'm going to be around you all the time. Oh, that ain't gonna happen, man. I got shit to do, man, and I'm not going to be following you guys all over the place to see what happens. No. I'm not interested in that crap, man. I got so much stuff I want to do. That's great. I'm going to have. I hope I live into the 90s, etc. And there is a good possibility, and I'll talk about that a little bit and a little bit towards the end here, whatever. But anyway, so in the contract that I will have, I'll have all of that. And in the contract that I will have, I'm also going to have something else. I'm going to bring you money. Since the only thing that you guys cared about, Isaac and Christian, and more than likely Katya, the only thing you fucking cared about was why I didn't pay child support. Well, I'm going to bring you the child support. I figured out the child support, which was 400 and I think it was 495. It could have been 465, but I think I did the computations on $495 a month that the court had set, and I did start to pay the child support to Marisol. Okay, and then and then she accused me of sexually molesting you and beating the fuck out of you guys and wanting to murder you guys and this, that. And I told her, I said, I'll put a bullet on my head before I pay you a goddamn cent. You accused me of all that shit and now you want me to pay you? And she said, no, and ask your mother this question. Did you tell our father, well, not your father, because I'm not a father to any Busquet, but did you tell Jaime, James, as you know me, I guess, I don't know, I don't go by James anymore, but anyway, that you didn't want the child support? Let's see if she tells you the truth. But the odds are, I'll be frank with you, I believe you will not say a word to her about it. You're not going to ask her. Why? You don't want to know the truth. You want to live in a lie. And that's okay. That's your choice also. You can live in a lie. You can live in a lie about everything your mother did. You can live in a lie about everything. You can accept it. And Isaac tells me he accepted. He said to me, he said, if my mom had to accuse you of sexually molesting us, if she had to accuse you that you would physically abuse us and that you were going to murder us in order to get the divorce, I'm okay with that. Whoa! And then Christian, and then Christian, you backed that up. You backed it up. You said, yeah, I'm in agreement. Whoa. So anyway, so I decided that before I die, I'm going to give you a little bit of, it's not inheritance, but what I've done is I calculated from the time of November 2005 in relation to Isaac until April of 2012 when he turned 18, how much child support he would have gotten. And from November of 2005 to April of 2012, that's 77 months. And 1/3 of the $495 is at $158.33, which equals $12,191.67. So when I come to see you, Isaac, I'm going to bring in cash. I'll bring a real nice, the aluminum type metal suitcase, small, put that all there in bills, and give you what was the most important thing to you, the money. I'm going to give you that. That was so there it is. But to get that money, I need you to sign the contract. You should have no problem signing the contract. You give up your inheritance, etc. You waive it. You have no problem with that. You already told me that. Christian, the same thing. With Christian, the number of months between November 2005 and August of 2014, when you turned 18, was 105 months times $158.33 is $16,624.65. So I will bring you that amount of money. There you go, Christian. You got your child support. What was most important to you? More than anything else, more than what happened. Why did you disappear? Why did I never hear from you? Nothing, 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 nothing. That's all that you cared about. The money, the love of the money. So I'm going to bring you that. But again, I'll have the contract also. I'll leave you the contract. You'll see the money, so you see it's real. And I say I will come back in the next day to pick up the contract. If it's signed, I leave you the suitcase with $16,624.65. Do whatever the fuck you want with it. I owe you nothing. Katya is the same thing. Now, Katya is November 2005 to August of 2010. When she turned 18, it's 57 months. And times $158.33, the same as you. She's at $9,024.81. So between the three of you, that's more or less 12, 28, 28 and 9 is almost 37 to $38,000. I'm going to bring. It's yours. There you go. That's what you cared about. So you got it. It's all yours. It's all yours. And so now, do I have to do that? No, I don't have to do that. I don't have to give you a cent. You're Busquets. I don't have to give you anything. But I'm going to do it anyway. Why? Because then I can be clean. I'll be washed. Who knows? I can imagine all the Busquets. I don't definitely Papon and Mina while they were alive. They're now in Sheol. You know, that's hell. They're there. No question about it. No sexual pervert's going to enter into the New Jerusalem. That ain't going to happen. That son of a bitch is in Sheol for eternity. Period. I just wish that I had been able to return to the United States and see him face to face before he took his last breath. Fucked his daughter when she was, I estimate, between the ages of 8 to about 12, maybe 13 or 14, but definitely from about 8 to about the age of 12. He's fucking and violating his daughter. And he also tried the same thing on Eileen. And I know that from what Marisol told me. See, all this comes from what Marisol. Anyway, I don't want to go there. Anyway, so then I got the contract. I'll give it to you. Blah, blah. There it is. Okay, I'll be back the next day. Sign it, and there's a suitcase. And then, hey, we want to. Let's go out to dinner. Doesn't matter. End of story. That's just the way it'll be. It's mind blowing. But I felt to do that. Since you, like I said, I don't have to. I even talked to, I called up what do you call it? The child support, child services in Oklahoma to find out about that because, if you don't pay, they can arrest you, this, that, and whatever. So I wanted to find out about it as to where I was exactly and this, that, and whatever. And they told me that in 2012, the case was closed and there is no child support, and Oklahoma's not after me for not paying anything, and the case is closed. It's over. When I return to Oklahoma, I don't have to be concerned that all of a sudden Child Protective Services is going to be knocking at the door saying, we're taking you to jail because you didn't pay the child support during those years. Nah, not going to happen. Case is closed. Can't be reopened. But anyway, but just in case in the contract it'll say that this is a child support, this, that, and whatever, and blah blah blah, and that for the thing for child support that wasn't paid from the age of whatever until you turned 18, that's your part of the $495 and blah blah blah, and that's it. That's it. Could care less. Then that part is over, and we go from there. Then from there. And then the same thing for Kata. I'm going to see her. I made a decision a long time ago that the day came when the day that, like I said, I asked Jehovah the Father. The only thing I asked is that before I take my last breath, that I see my boys and my daughter face to face. Face to face. That's all I ask. And well, it looks like it's going to happen. Okay, and that's okay. And then after that, if after that, there is, you decide there is no relationship, you don't want it, and this, that, and whatever, and that's okay. I don't have any problem. None. Zero. It'll be sad. But if you think that I'm going to be crying every single night and this, that, well, hell no. Man, I'm going to be traveling. I'm going to be buying properties in Italy, Greece, and Spain that'll go into the family legacy, and etc. And also in the Caribbean, like St. Kitts and Marinara Islands, etc. All this. I know so much about these places and how to structure the everything offshore to protect the money that's going in, so that nobody can touch it. That simple. That simple. And so go from there. I go from there. And so anyway, so that'll all be there, and I'll show you the money. But I don't leave it unless you want to right then and there. You want to sign the contract. You are ready to sign the contract when I see you the first night. There's a suitcase out. You sign the contract right now. Read it. Oh, and I'll need your mother to sign it too, saying that she accepts the payment to you for the child support. But in actuality, see, it's not child support. When you understand how the system works, it's not child support. It's actually alimony. It's alimony. But anyway, you'll find out soon, because the odds are like about, do you know that 75% of the Christian divorces are started by women, by the wife? And then those fathers get fucked, like I was. So get married. I told you need to marry. My advice is marry an Asian woman. Even a Spanish woman, but actually from a Spanish country, not that grew up in the United States, because they've been feminized. They're feminist, more than likely. I don't give a fuck if they're Christian. It's interesting. I remember when the divorce with your mother started, and we were at Gongi's, and we went to pick you guys up. You were at Gongi's house, and Marisol and I went to pick you up. And I had already gotten notice of the divorce. And I said, the divorce will be fine. We'd see the kids, see this, and Gongi said to me, no, Jaime, it's not going to be that way. So what are you talking about? And he told me, he said, when Marisol gets in that courtroom, she's going to fuck you. I said, no, she's not going to do that. He said, oh, yes, she is. She's going to take everything she can. She's going to keep you from the kids. She's going to do everything possible. I said, no way she'll do that. He said, you watch. I said, why do you say that? And he said, James, I have so many friends at American Airlines They've gone to Willie George Ministries. They've gone to Victory. They've gone to Bob Yandian's church, and they've gone to all the churches, etc. And then they get divorced, and when the wife walks into that courtroom, she throws the Bible in the fucking trash can, pisses on it, and then fucks them. She said, you have no idea how many of my friends, male friends, fathers, totally fucked by their wives. Totally fucked by their wives. I go, wow. And he said, Marisol's going to do the same thing. And you know, the thing about it is this. I believed. I fought for Marisol even then. Said, no way she's going to do that. No way she's going to do that. And he said, you watch. She's going to do it. I even stood up for your mother then. Gosh, stupid me. Gongi was 100% right. 100. And Gongi told me they lie, they do this, and the courts do nothing. Marisol committed, but you're okay with that. You two guys, Christian and I, so you're okay with your mother committing perjury, everything. You're okay with it. But you know what karma is, right? It comes around. Wait until you guys get married. You'll be lucky if you're not divorced within 5 years. By the 10th year, you're probably at about 85%, 90% chance that you will be divorced by within 10 years. To make it 15 years. I didn't make it 15. I made it 14. Well, if I count the 2 years that I dated your mother, I would. You could say 15. Okay. And then you'll walk in that courtroom. You won't know what to do. They will eat you for fucking lunch. You'll end up paying for your ex's attorney because you don't know. I didn't pay for Marisol. They tried. They tried to make me pay for Williamson's fees. And basically in the courtroom, I said, fuck you, and I'm not paying it, and this is why. Guess what? I didn't pay it. They tried to take the only asset we had at that time that we were using, I should say, and that was the minivan. They tried to take that, stop them. Now, why did I stop them from taking the minivan? Because I was hoping to put pressure on Marisol to not leave. And I knew that if she had the car, the van, then she's got transportation, therefore she would leave. I didn't want her to go. But there came Papon, the sexual deviant motherfucker, and he gave her that little red car. He bought her that red car, or gave it to her. That was the car he was using. I don't remember. But that sexual pervert is now in hell. Or tell me, do you guys believe that? Maybe you do. I don't know. That a guy can be a sexual pervert. He can be a liar. He can be a destroyer. He can be everything that comes right out of the pit of hell, and he still gets to enter into the New Jerusalem. I mean, do you guys believe that? Do you guys believe that but everything after what your mother did, etc., and she did all of that, falsely accused me of your sexual molestation and going to sexual molestation and visit. Do you guys believe that then she just gets to enter into the New Jerusalem? I mean, do you guys believe that? Let's see if you answer that question. No, you won't answer it. You haven't answered any questions. I even asked Isaac, how tall are you? What size pants you wear? What size T-shirt or shirt? Because I wanted to buy you some clothes. They don't even tell me that. Just unbelievable. You know, when I've talked to so many friends, and I just say, let me give you an example, and I explain to them in relation to, you know, not seeing you for 20 years, etc. And finally, when I do, your first question is, why didn't I pay child support? They all get blown away. They all get blown away. You mean they didn't ask you why you disappeared? Nothing? No. Never. Not one time. Not once in our chats have you ever asked me, why did I disappear? Why did I never contact you? Why did I never anything? Never. Never have. Never have. Absolutely mind-blowing. Absolutely mind-blowing. But anyway, you know, I can deal with it. You know, I mean, I came to the realization that when I get back and I see you guys face to face and I see you guys face to face, you guys might just say to me, fuck you, we don't want to see you. And that's okay. I can live with that. But, you know, it won't be fun. It'll be sad and this, that. But if you think that I'm going to let that control my life, I got news for you. Not going to happen. Not going to happen. We already got word that on one of the currencies I got, every dollar of it is going to come in at $2.95, 94 cents, something like that. And I am holding, how many changes I'm holding? I'm holding, I don't remember. I think around $200 million. $200 million of one particular currency, and it's coming in at roughly almost $3 a dollar. So I'm holding 300 million, but multiply 300 million by $3. That's 900 million fucking dollars American. That's only one of the currencies I'm holding. So I'm excited about that. I won't know the actual final price, what it actually is going to be until it actually happens, which I'm hoping that by tomorrow night, we will have gotten the appointment for payout. That's what I'm hoping. Very possible. And so we go from there. So anyway, so all of that will be in the contract, and boom. What can I say? All be there. You might still say, I don't want any of it. That's fine. Just sign the fucking paper. Sign the contract. Don't really need it. Like I told you, you're not going to get to the money anyway. It's not going to happen in a million years. You ain't got enough money to try to break the. I'm laying. Gary already knows how I'm doing this, and he's going to follow what I'm doing. I'll have at least 50 to 75 different entities throughout the world, each holding a certain amount of money throughout the world. So it's not like, let's just say it was $900 million, that all of a sudden one account's going to have 900 million. No. You don't do that shit. It's going to be multiple accounts throughout the entire world. Boom. Protected. What? If you decide down the road after I die, well, I'm going to go after that inheritance now. You don't have enough money to even go after one entity. And each entity will probably only have a couple $1 million or 10 million, 15, depending on what it is or whatever. And so you're not going to be able to touch it. But you will have a little bit of inheritance. A while back, I thought, if you decide you don't want it in this, that's fine. I'm going to leave you a house. I'll give you a really nice house so that when you do get married and you have children, you got a beautiful house with 3 or 4 bedrooms, this, that. No, I'm not going to do that shit. No. Outside, the only thing that you're going to get, is very simple, and that is you can send your utility bills, water, gas, and electricity, to a particular trust, and that trust will pay your monthly utilities. That's it. Nothing else. That's it. And if you don't send the bill in, they don't pay anything. They're not going to be after you saying, well, send it, we want to pay it. No, I don't care. You don't send the bill in, they don't pay it. Same thing for Katya and this, that. And one other thing, and that is when you get to be 85, around 85 years of age, somewhere in there, if you do end up with medical issues, then there will be a particular entity that will be there to make sure that you get whatever health coverage you do need, and that the money is there to pay for that. That's it. That's after your insurance and everything, whatever you may have. By then you'll be retired from, well, Oklahoma One, I think it is. Yeah, Oklahoma One, and Isaac from American Airlines, where you've been really good slaves. And so here you go. You got your pension, $3,000, $4,000 every month, and this, that, and whatever. And that is, you'll have that pension if your ex-wife, who's now you've been divorced 2 or 3 times, if they don't go after that. Because if they have a really excellent super attorney, he'll know how to go after your pension, your 401k. But see the thing about me is, it says, even though I had a 401k, the bitch that I would have married that ends up trying to go after it, she's not even going to get that, because I know how to protect all of that. And you guys are Busquets, and I'm not going to spend any time trying to show you guys how to protect all of that so that you don't get fucked in divorce. And if you get married thinking, oh no, I'm gonna be fine. Oh, we're in love, blue, 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 etc. And oh, she's not. Yeah, you go ahead and do that. and then when you go for divorce, and then she's taking the kids, she's taking the house, she's taking everything, and then you'll be like me. By the time she finishes with your 4,000 a month pension that you're getting, and now you're only getting $800 of that because $3,200 goes to her and all the kids until they're 18, or maybe even until they finish university. Because she'll make you pay for university for the kids also, whatever school or trade school they're going to and whatever. And for the next 20 fucking years, you're going to be paying up the ass, and then you're going to remember your father. You will remember your father every single fucking month when you're sending that alimony check, and then Isaac, you're getting the mortgage payment for the investment condominium that is now hers. And so she's sending you the mortgage payment, you're paying for it, and then she also took the one you live in because she's got part ownership in that too. She's got 50% automatically, and since you don't know how to protect anything, then she's going to kick you out of that, and she's going to end up with both condos, and you're going to end up like me, like I was, except you'll be in the United States. But then maybe you'll do the same thing. You come to Colombia, but no, you can't come to Colombia because you're not citizens of. Well, you can come to Colombia, but you know. You're not Colombians, you're just Americans. So anyway, that's a whole different other ball game. Another ball game, etc. And so that's what's coming up in your life. The odds are like about 95% that that's what's going to happen to one of you. One of you. So what do I recommend? Number one, have a girlfriend. Two, make sure you fuck her before you get married if you're going to marry her. Make sure you take her to bed. If you don't, after knowing the shit that was done to me, that would happen to me because I didn't, biggest mistake I did was not taking Marisol to bed. I would have found out the first fucking night, just like I did during the honeymoon. Immediately on the first fucking night of the honeymoon, the problem was there in relation to sex. Wow. And it was interesting. I'll share with you another little story. Before the marriage, Marisol and I had talked about having children. I did want children, but we had negotiated, you can call it that we would wait at least a year before having the first child, which in this case was Katia. That we wanted to spend time together, get to know each other, this, that, date some more, this, that, and whatever. Maybe even do a little traveling or whatever. We decided that. But as soon as we got married, and as soon as we got back to the apartment on I can't remember the name of the street, Honeysuckle Street or something, there in Henrico, Tumbleweed Circle, that's what it was, Tumbleweed Circle. The first thing that Marisol says to me is, I want to be pregnant by December. Now, we got married on September 7th. That's our anniversary date or whatever. And she says to me, I want to get pregnant right away. And if I'm not pregnant by December, I will not have sex with you. Wow. Wow. Oh, fuck. I was going, wow, this is actually mind blowing. Let me do something. I want to get me a beer. Hold on a second. Okay. I turned the camera over because I do have a shirt on, but I don't have any pants on. Nothing. So if I got up, I'd be indecent. So anyway, so I go from there. So I got me a nice cold beer. I'm in the new apartment. I gave up the old apartment, etc. Now I'm having problems with that fucking landlord. He's another Colombian that has no fucking honor, no integrity, no nothing. Kind of like the Busquets. Same thing. But anyway. So I'll never forget then. So naturally, Marisol got pregnant before December, or she wasn't going to have sex for me for the rest of the marriage. Actually, during the honeymoon, she wanted to get an annulment. Yeah, a woman who couldn't have sex. We had sex during the honeymoon. The honeymoon was let's see, we got married on Saturday, and I don't remember, but anyway, we were back. I don't remember when we got back or whatever, this, that, or whatever, a couple days, whatever it was. And we had sex during the honeymoon about 3 times, maybe, if that. Each time we had sex, it lasted about a minute. Mm. Anyway, so she wanted to get she asked about why don't we get the marriage annulled? Why don't you ask her that? Did you tell during the honeymoon, et cetera, when it didn't go well, that you mentioned to dad that you wanted to that consider getting an annulment? See, she tells you the truth. See, the difference between Marisol and me is this. I know that out of this lips, nothing but in relation to Marisol, in relation to my life, nothing but truth can come out. I don't lie. I tell it the way it is, this, that, whatever. It's the way I am. And Marisol's not like that. No integrity. But anyway, that's her, not me. Should have gotten annulled. Except you guys wouldn't have been born. But then it wouldn't have mattered because I wouldn't have known who you were anyway. But we should have gotten an annulment. That's a problem with falling in love. With falling in love, you take all the shit. And I just thought that, oh, what, I don't know what this is, but it'll be all right. It'll be all right. Never all right. For 14 fucking years, never all right. Woman who couldn't be touched, hated sex. Maybe you guys will end up marrying a woman like that. It'd be real karma. No, I really don't wish that on anybody. The hell I had for 16 years of knowing your mother. That's actual marriage. Then we have the divorce. But just unbelievable. So anyway, so when I get back there, I'll have the contract, I'll have this, I'll have the money, this, that. Your mother will need to sign the paper, the document, in relation because of the child support issue in it, and then you guys sign it, and then here's the suitcase, and here's the money. Do with it, and I'm not going to tell you how to do it, so you don't pay any taxes on that. You pay taxes on that, about 50%. Pay it all, pay it all, pay it all. I don't pay taxes. I haven't paid taxes since 1988 was the last year I filed and paid. Don't pay taxes on anything. And on all this money that's coming in from what I'm doing, not one penny in taxes will be paid. That's already taken care of. Not one penny in taxes will be paid. That'd be nice. I believe what will happen is that when I die, you might try to go after the wealth, but you're not going to get it. But definitely after your mother dies, if she doesn't die before me, who knows? I don't know, and I don't care. But when you get older, and especially if you end up in a divorce, which the odds are against you, one or both of you will end up in a divorce. Then what'll end up happening if you get married? I recommend you don't get married. I recommend you live with the woman as long as you want. Now, I'm going to get married, but see, I know how to structure my estate so the woman from Hong Kong, who's around 31 years of age, so that she can't take 50% of everything. She's not going to be able to get anything. Nothing. But if she's a good wife, loving this, that, faithful, never cheats on me, loves me, I love her, etc., she'll be blessed big time when I die. But if she decides one day, like your mother, I want to be free, I want to be free. That's what your mother told me. I want to be free. If she decides that, she goes with nothing. Zero. Zero. That's a fact. Zero. So I will get married in the Jewish religion mode of getting married. In other words, an Israelite marriage. That I will do. So we go from there. That's simple. Unbelievable. And when you do talk to Patrick Bassi, well, no, he's Busquets now on his Facebook. He's changed his last name to Busquets. I don't know what it is with all you people. You take the name of a pervert. But anyway, when you do talk to Patrick, let him know I'm going to be issuing a protective order against him. He threatened to come to Colombia and blow my head off. I told him, come on, let me know when you get here. But when I get back to the States, good probability he's going to come after me. Why? Because his grandfather, my father-in-law, Papon, was a fucking sexual pervert. I think that's why he said that he was going to shoot me. So I'm going to take out protective order, and it'll go to, if he's still at Boeing, I don't know. I don't know. He might have retired by now. It's possible. He's more or less around that age somewhere. But anyway, I'll take out a protective order against him. If he is working at Boeing still, it'll be delivered to Boeing. So Boeing's human resources is going to get it, and believe me, Boeing ain't going to like that. But he's going to get it there, and he'll get it at his house also. But I'm not sure about it. He lived in Georgia for quite a while. Now in my investigation, it appears he moved to Florida, up there in the Panhandle Harbor or something. I can't remember the name right off the bat. But anyway, I'll do a complete investigation all over again when I'm back in the States, and then go from there. Unbelievable. You know, Papon, and Marisol knows this. After 30 days, he came after me. After 30 days of me dating and Marisol, the attack started. They never stopped. Throughout the entire marriage to Marisol, Papon and Mina, all they would do is attack me all the time. And I've shared this with you. Ian knows this. He knows this. And I've tried to reach Ian because I am going to bless him. Now, for you guys, if you do want your inheritance, but you don't get it just like that. Why? Because I don't trust you. You've shown me that you are two men who have no integrity. A man with integrity would never ever say that a person can do anything whatsoever they want, criminal, whatever, in order to get what they want, that it's okay, even if it's criminal. You guys have said it. It shows me you have no integrity, no word, no backbone, etc. So even if you change your name to claim your inheritance, your legacy, when I return, man, it's things that got to happen before, because I don't trust you. I don't trust you at all. Your word is nothing. That's the difference between in our relationship. You to me, you can't say that about me. What I say, I do. You guys have no integrity. None. It's sad. You should have it. But then you grew up without a father in the most important years of your life. I'll never forget Marisol telling me in the court, "Oh, Jaime, I will never do anything. It is so important for you to be in the lives of the kids of Christian, Isaac, and Katya. They need you. So even though we may be split, I'll never do anything whatsoever to stop you from seeing them." Fucking bitch was a liar. But that was okay. According to you guys, that's okay. That's what she needed to do. You're okay with it. But anyway, so what I said, so when you get to be 85 years old, whatever, you got health issues, no problem. You got health bills, need to take care of the trust, but that's it, nothing else. And then when your mother dies, and there's a little bit of inheritance there, and because she does. I figured that she probably has got about $500,000 total from the inheritance, possibly, and from whatever she saved and this, that, from her job, and does that, she $500,000 when she dies, it'll be divided among the three of you. And But then when that time comes and you're this, that, and you're looking at your lives and you're going, I could have had a life where that would be really nice. Super nice house, no debt, house paid off, bills taken care of, my being able to bless my wife and my kids and this, that, with everything, this, that, and whatever, blah, blah, blah. And instead, I decided that I'd keep the name of a sexual pervert. And the man and his wife, Papon and Mina, who destroyed our home. Yep, that's who you choose, and that's okay. I'm gonna say you can choose whoever you want, but it all has consequences. But like I said, a lot of people have said to me, when they see you drive up and you're driving up in a Maserati or the Rolls Royce, etc. Because man, I'm going to have nice cars, supercars, set of cars that are 400,000 or 500,000. The Rolls Royce Phantom, etc. It's about a little bit over $1 million. I want that baby. And they said when you drive up and then they see that you've got the wealth, they might change their mind. I said, yeah, they might, but it's not going to come easy. I don't trust them. My boys have shown me that they cannot be trusted. With the kind of wealth that I will have, there's a responsibility. I'm going to be doing a lot of philanthropy, a lot. I can't trust you guys to do it. Also, it's that simple. So we go from there. Well, so I just want to let you know that's basically it. There's a lot more, but I'm not going to go into it. I think you got the main features here. I just want to make sure before I cut the recording here that you do that I have included everything. Yeah. And so, like I said, when you get to be that age, when I'm dead, have gone to the New Jerusalem, your mother's died, she's going to Sheol, etc. And then you look at your lives and you remember why words said you're nothing but slaves. The only way you can be a non-slave is you have to be in business for yourself, or you have to be independently wealthy, whereby you are not under somebody else's thumb. And right now, both of you are slaves. Now, Katya's one's going to have the easiest time because right now her name, I imagine, is possibly Katya Busquets Oak. That's a possibility. Or she could be Katya Janik Oaks. So in relation to her changing her name, no, she's Oaks now. She's not Burbano, so she doesn't have to change her last name from Oaks to Burbano. No, there's no way in the world I would ever ask that. But her middle name, so her name, in order for her to get the inheritance, she would have to change her name to Katya Burbano Oaks or Katya Janik Burbano Oaks. I don't care. Either one's okay with me. And then if she doesn't want to this, that's okay. I got no problems. I'm not going to cry over it. It'll be sad. It's sad for her, just like it's going to be sad for you guys. I'm going to be enjoying the fruits of my labor, so to speak. But then when you get to be my age now, 65, 70, and by then the pensions you'll be getting will be, you know, not going to be able to do much with them. You'll be able to live an okay life, this, that, and whatever, but a really, really super good life, no, can't do it. You won't have the money for that. Where so your freedom, your total freedom, you will have given it up. you will have given it up. So anyway, so Katya would have be the easiest one for her to change her name because she's not changing Oaks. And if she changes and you guys don't, then guess what? She's gonna get your parts. She'll get the whole enchilada. And you can't be angry at her because she'll have it all. And she'll be living with her sons, her children, and David and all. They'll be living a great life. They'll be traveling. They'll be doing this, that. They'll be living in a gorgeous, house of $5, $6, $7, $10 million and this, that, and whatever. And you guys will come and visit, and you'll look at it, and then what? Then you change your name to Burbano. What? Then you think you're going to go to Katya and say, "Well, look, I changed my name to Burbano. Will you give me my part back?" I wouldn't. You made your decision that you didn't want it. Here's the contract you signed. Can't be angry at her. You can only look at yourself in the mirror and be angry at yourself. You're the ones that did it. God, they didn't say anything to you to not take your inheritance, this, that, or whatever. I'll meet with David before I meet with Katya. I'll catch up to David before I meet with Katya, and him and I will sit down and we'll talk. There's some shit that David did against me that really is nasty. I forgive him for it, but he passed judgment on me without knowing anything about me. That's not cool. But then that's what Christians do all the time. You guys did it. You guys have definitely judged me. Jeez almighty. Go from there. Okay, well, I think that's about it. Nothing much more to say, do, or whatever you might want to say, whatever. Well, I'm hoping to have good news by tomorrow night. Definitely by the end of the week, but it's possible by tomorrow night that the deal's closed. That happens, I'll be in Panama more than likely within days, if not definitely by the end of the month. I should be in Panama. Today's August the 4th. I should be in Panama. This deal has got to close before the end of the month. The banks have already told us that our foundation has already done everything required to receive payout. These are from the top administrators at the very top of this deal. But in this thing, everybody's involved. Donald Trump is involved. Scott Bessent from the Department of Treasury is involved. World Trade Organization is involved. IMF is involved. That's what's taken so many years. So many years. And boy, have I had to hang on and hang on and hang on and hang on. But anyway, well, I hope to see you guys at this, that, and whatever. It'll be interesting to visit when I come, but I decided to do this video because I wanted to know when I come exactly what's going to happen. There's a suitcase. There's got your 60 or whatever. What was it? I'm trying to remember now. What was it? There's got your 12,000. There's got Isaac. There's got your $16,624.65, Christian, and Isaac is $12,197.67, and it said there it is. Sign the contract. In the contract, it'll be also talk about I'll mention this about the circumcision. That you've been notified that as being an uncircumcised male, you do understand, as the scripture says, that no uncircumcised male will enter into the New Jerusalem. That's heaven. It's not going to happen. That is a Christian lie. Christianity is a pagan, demonic religion. It is 100% wrong on the Shabbat, on the circumcision, etc. They preach a false doctrine. Even that, I've asked you guys to forgive me because I followed what Christianity said, and it's wrong. You don't even say anything about that. I mean, your disrespect, dishonor. I wonder, do you teach your bosses at American Airlines, I say the same thing. When they ask you a question, you just don't answer or whatever. Do you do that at work? How about you, Christian? And I'm going to do everything I get, Christian, to get you moved to Tulsa, Oklahoma. And that has nothing to do with me. I just believe that you should be around your brother Isaac and Katya and your nephew and your niece, Katya's children. You should be there. You guys should be together. That's one thing in my own family with my brother Eddie, Fernando, my sister. We were when we all split up and went to live in different places, states. That was the end of it. Big mistake. Should not have happened, but it did. So we, what can I say? It did. So I'm going to do what I can to get you, Christian, moved to corporate headquarters up there in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Yeah, get you out from your mother's skirts. That blew me away when I came back, Christian. Yeah, but I wasn't surprised. I was not surprised. You're always mama's boy. Isaac was more lined up with me. So the way you turned out, which is you living at home with mommy and Isaac being independent, having his own place and this, that, it's exactly the way. It doesn't surprise me at all. Isaac was not a mama's boy. You are. And you'll be 40 years old and your mother's still alive. You'll be living at home with her. Just unfucking believable. I kick your ass out so fast. Get out there and be a man and get your own place and this, that, and get a life. That's one thing I do say. If you're going to be slaves, you got good jobs. I commend you for that. I do commend your mother for whatever part she played in your education at Texas A&M and Isaac. I imagine you went to the Tulsa Community College and wherever else you went for your airlines training and this, that. I commend you on that. No question about it. I mean, if you're going to be slaves, you might as well get good jobs and be whereby they're paying you the most, so to speak. I'll say that. But we go from there. It's unbelievable. but anyway, so that I commend you on. I mean, we need slaves. Need people to work at the fast food stores. Need them work at gas stations. Need them work at Walmart. We need all them people. We need them people to work in the office. This, that. I prefer to have my own businesses. And I don't know if I talked about this before. Before I was planning on opening up several businesses, but they were for you guys in the actuality. We could talk about that when I got back. I'm 73. I don't want to open up a new business and be responsible. No, I don't want to do that. No. The businesses were for you guys. I would show them to you. I would design them with you, this, that, and you guys would manage them. You would have them. That would be your legacy. That would be your babies. But I'm not going to, but you guys have told me that you don't want that. You want to stay where you are. It's an interpretation. And so you can. There's no problem with that. You can stay there at your own. And so I don't know. What can I say? Stay there. It's cool. I can't work. People ask me why don't I go back to the States? I said, no, I'd have to get a regular job. At my age now, even though I could go back into sales possibly, I don't want to do that. I have a nice life here. It could be better. I mean, I exist. It's boring. I'm not interested in meeting any more people here in Colombia, etc. They're all liars, and this, as a rule, this is a culture that lies. It has no integrity, dishonest. Gosh, man, I have lost close to around $200,000 that has been stolen from me because I trust people. You can't trust Hispanic people anywhere. I really should have learned from your mother, but it's mind blowing. It's sad. But when this thing closes and this, that, the prophecies that were given to me back in 1984, 1985, 86, even when I went to Tulsa, when we moved to Tulsa same prophecies and religion. Your mother knows about this. It's just taken 40 fucking years for these financial prophecies to come about. I thought it happened way before that, but it's not my timing. It's Yahushua's timing. But I will be restored. Overall, everything that was stolen from me, with the exception of you guys, I see so much damage that has been created into your hearts by the Busquets, by your mother. I just don't see that it can be repaired. You guys have so much anger, hatred, judgment, untruth within you towards me. I don't see that it can. I don't know. I don't know if it can be repaired, made whole. Especially when you have the belief that you have that your mother could lie, could accuse me of sexual molestation, could accuse me of wanting to murder you, beating the fuck out of you. That you're okay with that, and she needed to do that. You're fine with it. You agree with her. Go for it, man. With that in your heart, I just don't see how we can ever be restored. That's why I can never trust you overall. And when I say never, never, it's sad what your mother and the Busquets have done, but judgment's coming. And I will tell you this: every person, every individual that raised their voice, their words against me, they got a big problem when they get in front of Yahweh and Yahushua. They got a big problem. Can't put it any other way. Gosh, it's just unbelievable. But anyway, that's all of this stuff is what I need in order for me to get finally complete and total closure. I've got closure. I'm able to live my life content. I don't this, that, and whatever. But this that is going to happen, this, that, and the lawsuits against the judge and this, that, all that has to happen and all that in order for me to have closure, and then I can move on, etc. In a matter in a certain way, because as I said before, the people that I'm working with and are going to be working with me, they got to look at everything. And if they were to say we don't want to do this, say okay, and nothing happens. But they're going to have a hard time turning down $500,000 because that's what I'm going to pay them to do everything that needs to be done. $500,000. So I think they'll do it. 100%, I think they will do it. All right, well, that's about it. Can't think of anything else. When I do come to Tulsa, it's and what's it, El Paso. El Paso's a shithole from everything that I see on the net about them, and El Paso's got a huge illegal problem, and hopefully Homeland will be. Who knows? Maybe the Homeland should maybe go. Homeland Security and the Border Patrol should go to Oklahoma 1 in El Paso, Texas. Imagine how many illegals are working there at Oklahoma 1. Probably a lot. And just round them up. I believe everyone who's an illegal who came here should get their ass out of the fucking country. Go back to your country. I believe that 100%. Don't know where you guys stand on that. Oh, that's one of the things I'm going to do. I'm going to go to the Victory Christian and this that. They have a bounty hunter. I call it bounty hunter program. The Border Patrol with Tom Homan, in which you can become like a bounty hunter, and if you bring in illegals, the Homeland will give you $1,500 for everyone you bring in. I'm thinking of putting a posse together of about having the armored trucks and this that, and with about 2 or 3 trucks, and then we're going to go visit Victory Christian Hispanic Ministry on a Sunday and round them up, and then go to Juan Pena. I don't know if you remember him. that son of a bitch did something that I'm going to confront him to his face. Well, but I'm going to let him show up at his church, okay, and just his Hispanic ministry church. I can imagine all the illegals he's got there and just round them up. Just round them up, and then take them into Homeland Security, this, that, and get them deported. When we moved to Tulsa back in 1997 and we became part of Victory and the Spanish, I would tell all of the illegals, I said, you need to go back. Some of them didn't like me saying that. I said, no, you need to go back and you need to do this right. For you to come illegally into this country, this, that. So all of them, send them back. Send them back. All of them. I recommend you give this video to your mother. Let her know she's still my wife. I think that's funny. Even though my people might decide that they don't want to handle this case, but I think with $500,000 they will. But let's say they didn't. I don't need them to handle anything when it comes to me going after Marisol for being a bigamist, because she is still married to me. Ask your mother. Let's see if you do this. Ask your mother if I ever signed any of the divorce documents. Now, the answer is no. But I'm curious if she'd tell you no, or she'd say, yeah, you signed them. I believe your mother would definitely lie to you, look you in the face and lie. And you'd be okay with that. All right, guys. Well, love you guys. We'll see what happens when I return in this, that. And when I return to do what I'm going to do, I'm not going to be around Tulsa a lot. I've got places to go to, man. I mean, Gary and I, we're going to buy about 160-foot, something like that, 200-foot yacht. And him and I, with his family and with my lady and some friends and all that, we're going to take the yacht and we're going to go down the coastline of Central America. And then we're going to go right down the coastline to Cartagena. And we might continue and go to the coastlines of Venezuela and go all the way down to Brazil. And in Brazil, and just have a vacation that'll probably last a good 2 months. But hey, I plan on having a great time. How about you? And you're invited. You're invited. I'll invite Katya and this, that. You don't want to go, that's fine. I don't care. I'm going. All right. Well, I think that's it. I don't want to end it, and then afterwards I think about something that always tends to happen. And what else can I say? Just unbelievable. Unbelievable. All right. That's enough. Later.